Now, where we cross over to Peter Ndoro at the TNA. He is in the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium in Port Elizabeth, and he has got the Premier of the Eastern Cape with him, as well as some of the MECs there in the province, as well as newly appointed Mayor of Nelson Mandela Bay, Jordaan, and Alfred Mtsi, who is the Mayor of Buffalo City, talking about back to basics, serving our communities better. Peter Ndoro, it's a very good morning from us here in Johannesburg.
Good morning, Leanne, and thank you very much indeed for joining us. Excuse me, from wherever you're watching across the country and across the many nations, 50 across Africa. We're in the Eastern Cape today. We're in Port Elizabeth, and as Leanne said, at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium and the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro, which is, I guess, one of the biggest in the country, and it's recently seen a new mayor appointed. But why are we in the Eastern Cape? Well, it's an important part of the country. If we consider that it's the second largest province in terms of surface area, third largest in terms of population, it really has a significant role to play in the country's economy. In fact, the chairperson of the Select Committee on Trade and International Relations said in Parliament that the Eastern Cape should be the next area of growth for the South African economy. So significant potential, and a number of initiatives already underway. We talk about Cogta and other places, but it's certainly a province that's not been without its challenges as well over time. And with these new mayors, Premier, he's talked about the way forward. Well, what we'd like to do is unpack that. And one of his strong themes now is getting back to basics, serving our communities better, and we want to know what that means and how that's going to affect you at home here in the Eastern Cape and also perhaps across the country. What lessons can we learn from some of the initiatives that the Eastern Cape province is undertaking to improve the lot of ordinary South Africans? Well, to discuss that, I am joined now by Premier, two mayors, and an MEC. Let me introduce our guests to you who are going to lead us in this conversation. But we'd like you at home at Morning Live SABC to be part of that conversation. Put through your questions, and we'll get answers for you live right here on SABC 2 and Channel 404 and DSTV. So a very warm welcome once again, Premier Phumulo Masualle. Always a pleasure to talk to you, and thank you for making yourself available.
Thank you very much, Peter. Thanks for the opportunity. Greetings to you, greetings to the audience we have here, and greetings to our viewers at home.
Right, next to you we have the MEC for Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs in the province, Mr. Fikile Xasa. Thank you very much for joining us, and welcome to you.
Good morning, thanks.
Great. And somebody that's perhaps familiar, kicking a football rather, but he's got a big job now here in this particular metro. Councillor Jordaan, thank you very much, the Executive Mayor of the Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much. I've been mayor for the last 6 weeks.
Right.
6 weeks is a long time when you get kicked about.
And another new mayor as well is the Executive Mayor of Buffalo City Metropolitan Municipality, Councillor Alfred Mtsi. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, and welcome to you.
Thank you, Peter, and the viewers at home and here. Thank you very much.
All right, okay. So, gentlemen, back to basics. In fact, I want to start because this is your big theme, Premier, and on Twitter, Sinabo Masengwa says, what does this back to basics entail, though? So what informed this philosophy of back to basics? Why, what, where, when, and how do we answer Sinabo, who says, what does this back to basics entail?
Well, Peter, just in short, one would say the President, in addressing the State of the Nation, spoke to the need to make the people's experience of local government a pleasant one. And from that, we committed throughout the country to make sure that we make our local government really provide that experience for the ordinary person, the voter out there. Back to Basics was then launched as a way of giving effect to that. Part of ensuring that the capacity of our developmental state is strengthened, by ensuring that there is good governance, ensuring that there is a prompt delivery of services to our people. That's really the mantra behind the Back to Basics, the concept as a whole. So we are busy countrywide making sure that we're improving the capacity to deliver services to our people, the capacity of the developmental state to meet the objectives of the developmental state.
All right, we'll continue to unpack that as the conversation unfolds. MEC, corporate governance, Premier has spoke about, and I know there's been a number of interventions already that have taken place in the province, and I'm just wondering, have they started to bear fruit? What sort of things have you been up to?
Yes, we have intervened in Nkwanqa, Makana. In the two municipalities, Nkwanqa, we have a new council. We're still continuing to support them, dealing with issues related to ESCOM accounts. That also applies in Makana. We are also assisting Makana with infrastructure challenges related to water and sanitation. And Sunday's River Valley, we also intervened there. We investigated because there was that burning that happened there. And after the investigation, we have reported to council. They have an implementation plan with them to change the situation. Water and sanitation also is a challenge. They are also dealing with that issue there. Plus the two municipalities, the metros of our province, we are coming in to support. Thanks.
Okay, all right. First thoughts, and I think you've highlighted a few things that we can chat about a bit further. But new kids on the block, I guess, in many ways. Two new mayors. Starting with you, Mr. Danny Jordaan, how's the job going? 6 weeks in, you now have an idea of the lay of the land, I guess. And is it a huge job?
Yes, it's quite a challenge. I think this period has been a period, I think, characterized by reflection, by analyzing the challenges, by engagement, but focusing on delivery. And see where are the things and what are the things that we have to do to strengthen and accelerate delivery. And the point that you've raised, the question of back to basics, is part of that engagement. And right from the onset in our engagement, we negotiated a deal with national and provincial government, focusing on how government could assist this metro to find additional funding and additional skills. For example, we, as part of this package, has negotiated with the Municipal Infrastructure Support Agency under Cogta, and in doing so, they will do a comprehensive evaluation of our infrastructure, the management capacity thereof, identifying areas of need that needs to be improved. But part of that package, they will bring additional engineers, and this city has a serious shortage of engineers. They'll bring additional engineers to complete that work, so also to improve and strengthen the skills base required to do the job. And many of the people are here. Department of Housing is here. We're working with them. Water and Sanitation, Cogta, National Treasury, all of them are here to assist, to strengthen our capacity and accelerate service delivery.
Okay, all right. Another new mayor. And you've picked up quite a big job as well. I think you've had 4 mayors, 6 city managers in 5 years. So it's a challenge in terms of service delivery. And this is where you've walked in, you know. I use this analogy all the time, but I don't want you to think that maybe you're a Bafana manager, that you're in and out. But I'm just wondering, what are you going to do differently? Because this is a difficult municipality that you've arrived in, and you need to stabilize and get things off the ground.
Well, thank you very much, Peter, and the viewers. Indeed, I think Danny is 6 weeks. I'm 3 weeks. So for me, I mean, it's quite premature, really premature. But nevertheless, when we were deployed into the new position, we told ourselves that we were going to hit the ground moving. And we are not going to cause any log jams. We will flow, and together with the processes already in place. You will recall that we are at the end of the term. We are at the beginning of the new financial year. So a number of things had to be taken into account. That recently we had SOMA, and then out of SOMA, the biggest challenge that is now confronting us is how do we practicalize the theory that is enshrined in our SOMA. We have had sessions, of course, internally with the heads of directorates to try and share with them how to operationalize and all the commitments that we have made in SOMA and so on. But in one of the things that we have highlighted in SOMA is the fact that after 4 years, whilst the municipality is faced with these challenges, but there are some achievements that we can use as a base to move forward. With respect to the cash status of the municipality, we are in a very, very positive situation. I think the rating, we are rated as rating A, which is quite very much impressive. With respect to issues of service delivery, whilst there are challenges, but there are certain points that we can refer to as a profound basis, for us to kickstart and the process and so on. So with those words, I think we are optimistic because we have already started a process of engaging other stakeholders because we are of the view that us as leaders cannot provide solution alone. We have to work with others. We have shared a lot of expertise with the business people, traditional leaders, and we are intending to go on interacting with other business people as well, and other important communities who play an important role in the development. So that's it.
Okay, well, again, we're going to unpack some of the issues that you've mentioned, and I'm sure we're going to get questions from your part of the world as well, from our viewers. Premier, just before we go to the break again, we've had a couple of conversations already, and I know that you said all the right things. You said we're going to be accountable, we're going to hit the ground running, and you even got your leadership to sign commitments, what deliverables. And I guess the million-dollar question is, how far are we? Are we making a change? And perhaps we can talk a little about some of the things that have happened. I'm told let's take the quick break, and then when we come back, you can start answering about some of the progress that's been made as a result of those initiatives. Okay, so we'll take a quick break, and don't forget, Morning Live SABC is the Twitter handle if you want to ask a question and pose it to the guests that are sitting with me. But we look forward to hearing your thoughts on this program. Stay with us.